still be worse than who you were yesterday. If you get up every day and you want to be better than you were yesterday, you're not going to have a time for complacency, because there are so many ways to improve. We compare ourselves to other people, and it kills our contentment. We look at people who are doing better than we are, and we look at what they've got, and we look at the lives they have, and we feel worse about ourselves. If we're comparing ourselves to people doing worse than us, that kindles complacency. So comparison can kill contentment. It can also kindle complacency. We can feel, well, I'm better than they are. Yeah, but you might be worse than you were. You got to live your life, me versus me. I'm getting on that phone today. I'm not going to go through it. I'm going to get from it. I'm going to do better than I did yesterday. I'm holding a meeting today. It's going to be a better meeting than yesterday's. All right, I'm not about going through on neutral here. I got to continue to find ways to get better than I was. That's one thing you'll find in the book. I know a lot of you have bought that book, Intentional Mindset. There is a 70-day course in the back of that book. I have no way of knowing how many people actually take it. And you spend 1 week on a single trait, and there's 10 different traits. And you're evaluating yourself at the end of the day, not against anybody else, but against how you did on that trait. There's 7 different areas in each trait. 1 week you go over attitude, 1 week you go over competitiveness, 1 week you go over character, 1 week you go over rigor, which is your routines, all the way through. It's called the accredited course because it spells out accredited. And what I try to do in that is get you playing against you, getting you trying to be the best you that you can be. I've actually got something called a personal progress diary, where you can download that course, you can print it off, you can just make yourself a notebook. I've got people that have gone through that course, 70 days is over, they do it another 70, and another 70, and another 70, and they keep getting better than they were. It's you against you. You want to compare yourself against somebody? Compare yourself to the attitude you had yesterday, the energy you had yesterday, the relationships you built yesterday. Compare yourself to the use of your time. How did you use time today versus yesterday? That's what you can control. That's what will keep you growing. I ask athletes, I just asked a group, I said, why do you play basketball? Fair question. Why do you play basketball? Number one answer most of them give you is, man, I just love winning. I love the thrill of the win. I love the thrill of the win. I said, well, if that's why you play basketball, I can tell you where you can win every single time. I mean, if that's really why you're doing it, just go find the local 10-year-olds down at the park. I mean, if that's why you're doing it, okay, and you can play them and you can win every single time. I said, I don't think that's the best answer. I said, I love to win too. I said, what you gotta fall in love with is competing. Every possession. Basketball, just like sales, is a game of instant redemption. You can make a mistake, you can turn the ball over, and you can get it right back within a few seconds. Instant redemption. If you're a starting pitcher for a baseball team and you lose the game, it may take 6 days before you get another shot at redeeming yourself. Instant redemption. But in order to do that, you gotta stay in a competitive mode. You gotta stay moment by moment. That's the power of competing. And that's the power of you competing with you. You competing with you. That's what you can control, man. You can't control how much talent someone else has, who they know, who they don't know, how hard they're going to work. You can control all that about yourself over time. You versus you. You start to look at that, everything starts to change. You start to humble yourself and you're looking in that mirror and you're finding ways to improve your attitude, your work ethic, your focus, your energy. Every day is a fresh challenge. I ran car dealerships, some of you know that. They got sold to a public company about 23 years ago when I started learning to lead. I used to I used to sell 40 cars a month. And then they would just get away from the disciplines, get a little complacent, make a lot of money. And they go all the way down to 20. Now you can still make a good living with 20 cars a month. Average guy's selling like 8. But they're looking at everybody else, and everybody else is selling like 10, 12, 15. They're selling 20, so they still feel like they're number one. And technically they are. But they're half as good as they used to be. That's a wake-up call. They haven't declined, they have plunged. It just took a while to get down there, but they're looking at the wrong benchmark. That's why I said if you're looking at people doing worse than you, contentment kindles complacency. Complacent means calmly content, smugly self-satisfied. You're so calmly content and smugly self-satisfied with what you have, you stop doing the things that got you there in the first place. Every day, compete with yourself. Stay where your feet are. Just execute better than you did the last time. Number 6, do basics better. You can't get away from them, man. It doesn't matter. Sports, sales, leadership. There are a handful of things, basics, that you cannot get away from. And you got to do them, and you got to do them better, and then you want to do more of them, and then you want to do them more often. What are your basics? Some of you have heard me say before, there's a principle now. Here's a principle. What gets you here won't get you there. Those of you doing really well, you need to know this. I don't care. What gets you here won't get you there. If what got you here would get you there, you'd already be there. The fact that you're not there indicates something's got to change. You don't drive an 18-wheeler the same way you drive a Chevy Volt. So if you're going to get from here to there, you're going to have to do some things different. And a lot of times when people hear me say what gets you here won't get you there, they think I'm talking about doing something totally different. Not necessarily. Maybe. But I'm thinking what I'm talking about here can make up the difference. What we want to look at is, what are the things I'm already doing that work? What are the things I'm already doing that are non-negotiable, that are essential? Can I do them better? Can I do them better? I call this the better, more often strategy. It is the low-hanging fruit for growth. Take the things that are already essential, that already work. If you're making phone calls, can you get any better at them? How many of you in here believe you get better at a phone call? Right? So we're not tapped out there yet, right? So we're doing better. Now, see, I'll tell you why the better comes before the more. If you suck at phone calls, you don't want to do more of them. Do them better first. You say, well, if I do more, I'll get better. Not if you're doing them the wrong way. If you got a bad golf swing, hitting 4 buckets of balls with that funky swing is going to make you worse faster till you fix the swing. So what can you get better at? When's the last time you really worked on your presentation, really worked on your closing, asking for referrals? Really got better at it. We just go through these motions and then do more of it. And then do it more often. Hold yourself more accountable for consistency. Better, more often. You know, I think one of the secrets to success, I like to talk about secrets to success, one of the secrets to success is you don't have to do anything extraordinary to get to an entirely different level. Doesn't that take some of the pressure off? You don't have to do anything extraordinary to get to an entirely different level. What you need to do are the ordinary things extraordinarily well. Every single time. And then find ways to do them even better, and then do more of them, and then do them more often. Do basics better. I hear guys say, yeah, we got to do this again. Man, this is getting redundant. Same old process, same old thing. Got to do it again. Let me tell you something. Until you're perfect, it's not redundant. Until you're perfect, it's not redundant, which means it'll never get redundant. There's always a way to do it better. I've had people say, I just don't like the process. I don't like our sales process. I don't like the workout process. I don't like the mindset process. I said, let me take some pressure off of you. You don't have to love the process. You don't even have to like the process. You just got to love where it'll take you. And do it every single time. Pressure's off. You never have to say you don't like or love the process again, okay? I just took that away from you. Take that pressure off of you. Just love where it'll take you. If you're trying to lose a few pounds, you may not like the process. You got to start doing stuff you're not used to doing, eating stuff you might not like that much. Stop eating stuff you do like. Get up in the morning and actually do something to break a sweat. Okay, but you're going to like where it takes you. Why do you stick with it? You're going to like where it takes you. More energy, more confidence, higher self-esteem. You go out to Malibu, come visit me out there in Malibu. You can go walking on the beach. No one's going to throw harpoons at you. It just takes all that stress out. Fit in those clothes, look better with your friends. Some of you caught that. Do basics better. Let's talk about something they talk about in sports a lot. Number 7. I don't think we talk about it in business enough. Master the art of high quality sleep. You got to sleep better. You don't need to sleep more. Most of you don't need to sleep more. I hear most people say, I just need to get more sleep. And you look at their life, it's like, you've slept enough. You've slept enough. Okay. But you can lay in bed 10 hours and still wake up and have a lousy morning if you didn't have quality sleep, if you tossed and you turned and you weren't relaxed before you got into bed, if you ate too late, if you're getting too much screen time before you go to bed, that will keep you awake at night. There are glasses you can buy on Amazon. They're like 20 bucks that tune out the light, the blue light that comes off the computer and the screen. It helps you sleep better. There are supplements you can take. There are disciplines you can embrace. You need quality sleep so you can get by with less of it. You get up, get more stuff done, and still be energized. See, people think their morning begins when they get up. Your good morning or bad morning begins with your night's sleep the day before. I see people eating at 9 o'clock and they wonder why they can't sleep. Watching horror movies and news is the last thing in their mind before they go to bed and wonder why they can't sleep. Trying to sleep in a hot room, trying to sleep in a dirty bed. All this stuff matters. You need sleep. Most of you don't need as much as you're trying to get. You need it to be higher quality. Then you get more stuff done that's fun and it matters. I don't think we talk about this enough in business. Little things that you can do. People take a 3-hour nap in the afternoon. Say, oh, that nap did me great. It's going to kill your night's sleep. You're totally out of a sleep rhythm, taking your 3-hour nap. During hours, you could be doing something. Lower your body temperature. Some of you wear too much clothes to bed. Lower your body temperature. The cooler you are, the easier it is to sleep. Learn some of these techniques. There's aloe vera gel you can get. It's cold. You put it on your face, you put it on your torso. It just lowers your body temperature. You get in bed, you're going to fall asleep quicker. This is something you do every day. You might as well do it with excellence. One of those little things, how you do anything is how you do everything. We don't talk enough about this. And then on a related topic, number 8, take care of your body. Come on. Take care of your body. Remember, self-esteem is how you feel about yourself. Self-confidence is how you feel about your abilities. Take care of yourself. Healthier lifestyle. It affects how you feel. Like hydration. People talk to athletes a lot about hydration. We all need to be talking about hydration. You know, 71% of people walk around dehydrated based on studies. 71%. It means out of this group, probably about, 8,000. You're dehydrated right now. Do you know when you wake up every morning you are dehydrated? 100%. Because for hours you had moisture going out and nothing coming in. First thing you should do when you get up in the morning, drink that bottle of water. Power down 1 or 2 of these. When you are dehydrated, you don't feel good. When you are dehydrated, you don't have energy. You have a foggy memory. When you are dehydrated, it can cause... Here's what happens. Your blood thickens. When you're dehydrated, your blood thickens. It means your organs have to work harder to get that blood going, which is where all your energy's going. You say, oh, I'm just not a morning person. No, you're probably dehydrated. Dehydration makes your breath funky. You got some people wake up in the morning, they got breath that knock a buzzard off a turd wagon. They're dehydrated. Get some water in that mouth. Have some respect for that person next to you. Little floss wouldn't hurt either for some people. Exercise. People say, I don't have time for exercise. Well, you're going to have time to be sick then. You got to take care of yourself. If it's important to you, you find a way. If it's not, you find an excuse. It all matters. It all matters. You're going in to be with a client. You're going in to perform. You want to feel good. You want to have right energy. You want to have self-respect, self-esteem, self-confidence. Because I just don't have time, but they're watching Netflix for 3 hours a night. Netflix isn't going to change your life. They can tell you every horrific thing on what's that Ozark show? Ozark. Oh, the new season's out. Yeah, but you hadn't read a book in 3 years. Maybe you ought to crack that open. Instead of wondering about all those morons. I've heard there's not one redeeming character on that whole show. We're going to see how screwed up they are this week. People play video games for 2 hours. They won't walk around the block for 15 minutes. They spend an hour trying to figure out who they're going to start in their fantasy football league. They can't even pay their bills. They're figuring out who to start at quarterback in their fantasy football. They won't even get down and do 5 sets of 10 push-ups. Do something. Move. Take care of your body. I asked a guy one time, I said, can you do 5 push-ups? He said, in a row? Well, that would be the objective. Not over 6 weeks. We'd like to see if you can do them in a row. See, and if you're not in the shape you want, you just have to own it. Don't go blaming stuff. If you own it, you can fix it. Face it, fix it, acknowledge it, change it. Do better. The person in good shape's got the same amount of time in a day as you do. You're just using it differently. Probably have the same number of meals, maybe not quite as many, but some of you do. I have an uncle who will not take responsibility. Uncle Ralph. He said, I'm big bones. I'm big bone. That's a mighty big bone growing out of your arch there, Uncle Ralph. Looks a little like Stonehenge. I said, you gotta own it. Take care of yourself. Hydrate. Eat right. Get some sleep, the right type of sleep. Number 9, get over your feelings. For some of you that are offended, you might need this one right now. Oh, listen, guys, your feelings will hijack your future. Your feelings. Here's what I mean. People say, did you make the calls? No, I didn't feel like it. Did you go to the gym? You were supposed to go Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Did you go to the gym? No, I didn't feel like it. Did you read that chapter in the book you were going to read last night? Oh man, I just wasn't feeling it. Did you ask that customer for a referral? Because that's a discipline you want to do every time. Nah, I wasn't feeling it. Let me tell you something. Let me be real blunt with you. Within the context of doing the things that are going to get you better or not, how you feel about it doesn't matter. You do it anyway, and then you feel better because you did it. Most people, they live their life, they feel their way into acting. If I feel like it, I'll act. If I feel like it, I'll do it. In the real world, there's a lot of days you're not going to feel like it. You're not feeling it. But when you do it anyway, then you feel better about yourself. You can't go through life feeling your way into acting. You got to go through life acting your way into feeling. Flip the script. Flip the script. No, I don't feel like doing it. I didn't get a good night's sleep. I don't feel 100%. I'm hungover, whatever the case may be. But you know what? I'm going to go to that gym anyway because I said I would. And I'm only going to be there about 2 minutes, and I'm going to feel better because I did it. And I don't have to feel guilty the rest of the day. I did what was hard. I did what I didn't want to do. I did what would make me better. And I did it when I didn't feel like it. Act your way into feeling. Don't feel your way into acting. People say it's just hard. It's hard to follow that process. It's hard to do those routines. It's hard to make those calls every day. Well, let me tell you what, mediocrity's hard too. Being broke is harder. Living a shorter life is harder. You pick your hard. It's hard either way. It's hard either way. Pick your hard. Pick the hard that's going to get you somewhere. Pick the hard that's going to pay you. Pick the hard that's going to help you become more so you can get more. Pick the hard that's going to help you help more people. Pick that hard. Quit whining because it's hard. It's hard to suck too. Life's hard when you suck. It's hard. Get over your feelings. Number 10, I mentioned this a little bit. I want to talk a little more about it. Stay locked in during adversity. Don't mentally check out when it gets tough. You got to stay locked in. You got to stay locked in. You got to work through it. I said earlier, you can't wish you're someplace else. You got to work through it. Adversity is common in any profession, and in sales we're going to have more than our share sometimes. But you can't get hung up on it. One of the techniques I teach an athlete is something called release and refocus. Release and refocus. Release and refocus. A Okay, we got to learn how to release and refocus. We lose a deal, we release, we refocus. You can't carry it. You can't continue to rewind it. Tell the guy you turn the ball over. You got to have a go-to word or phrase that releases it, and now you're focused on competing in the next moment. Okay, you can't hang it. You can't carry that around down the court thinking about it, because now you're going to mess up again. Come up with a word. Come up with a technique. Some of them have a body slam. You see the boxer, he's getting beat. He's getting beat. He steps back, fits his gloves together. Now that's his release and refocus. He's getting ready to go. Okay, see, some of us, we're getting beat. We just go faster, but you got to step back. You got to release and refocus. People say, well, what are some of the athletes' words? Well, most of the ones I know, they got a two-word phrase. When something goes wrong, they miss a shot, they turn it over, they get a foul. First word starts with F. Second word is it. 2 syllables. Flush it. What did you think I meant? Flush it. One of them has flush it. The others have what you were thinking. But what that does is that gets rid of it. That gets rid of it, and now they can refocus on the next one right thing now. You want to work through adversity? You can't get hung up on conditions. You got to get hung up on decisions. I don't like what just happened. Here's what I can decide: to do the next one right thing now, and then the next one right thing now, and then again and again and again. And I'm going to keep doing that. That keeps me in control. Now, you're not always going to be successful, but you can always get better. You're not always going to be successful, but you can always get better. If when you're going through adversities, you're finding ways to take what seems to be happening to you and you make it happen for you. You look for the lessons. You apply the lessons. You don't play the victim card and get all upset because you're not getting a break. What can I control? That's what I'm doing next. And then again and again and again. Next one right thing now. You're going to have it. You got to have strategies for dealing with it. I tell guys, I don't want you thinking on the floor. On the floor, man, it's like see ball, shoot ball, see ball, steal ball. Trust your training, trust your instincts. You start thinking on the floor, you're going to overthink. That makes you slow. Just deal with it. What do you need to know? The next one right thing now. Do that and keep moving in that direction. I don't have time to go over it with you here, but there are some fantastic relaxation techniques you can learn. Learn how to relax before you go on a call. Learn how to relax before you go to bed. That helps you when adversity happens. If you're already tense when adversity happens, you're going to be in worse shape. Relaxation is not recreation. Relaxation is not diversion. Relaxation is not indifference. And relaxation is not laziness. Relaxation gets the tension out. That's what that release and refocus does. It gets the tension out. I put them through a 5-minute, I was in the film room with a bunch of athletes. There's a 5-minute process I walk them through. Some of them conked out, asleep. That's how relaxed they got. I teach them how to sleep in 2 minutes. Learn this stuff. You want to be relaxed before you go to bed. Tension needs to be out. People say, well, I'm tense. I just go out and chop wood. Or I go out and I just walk around the block. That is diversion. It is not relaxation. And that can have some benefit. But when you come back from that, whatever was causing you stress is still going to be there because you haven't dealt with it. Learn how to relax. Learn how to sleep. It all matters. Train like an athlete because we're all performing. We want to live like a champion. Learn how to breathe. It's amazing sometimes after a few months working with an athlete, I said, what's the most important thing you've learned through this so far? He said, mindset, routine, and breathing. You got to learn how to breathe. People get tense, they stop breathing. Control the breath, control the body. Control the body, control the performance. The inhale brings oxygen to the brain so you can think clearly. The exhale gets the tension out. You're breathing out your tensions. Do that before you're going in on a call. Do that before you make a call. Get control of yourself. It all matters. I've had people say, well, Dave, this is just a bunch of anal stuff. What some people call anal, other people call standards. It's not anal. It's about standards. It's about having routines. It's about having things that will help you get better, knowing that it all matters. You see a ball player steal the ball. He gets a steal, and he doesn't breathe. and he's going so fast on the court, he turns it right back over because he didn't breathe. He didn't have the control. It's the same in business.